Hey everyone. Today's video is going to be about postpartum. This is something that first of all, I'm still in it. I'm only 1 year and a few days postpartum. Um, and this is something I'm super passionate about. I really believe that the transition from being a maiden to a mother is, well, it's obviously life changing, but it can really make, or I don't want to say break, but it can really make your life a lot easier, or it can make it a lot more difficult. And there is not adequate support out there for people going through the postpartum phase in their life. And obviously, women are not getting a lot of support. And it's not on purpose. It's not like people are like, oh, who cares about her or whatever. It's just a lack of understanding, or just thinking that that status quo is what is okay, and it's not. Um, so, way back in the day when we used to be all tribal and whatnot, um, people had a lot more support, as in new families. Their families were all around them, so it was really easy to just say, you know what, I need you to take my kid. I like need a minute. Um, but this isn't so common anymore. With the rise of people moving to cities and leaving their families in different, towns, countries, continents, um, it's not as common. Also, there's kind of, I feel like, a distrust of our parents, and grandparents. Maybe, some of us have this, some of us don't. That's cool. Um, but because of our peer oriented culture, at least in where I grew up in Canada, I feel like there's like a distrust of parents because we're so geared towards our peers that our parents just kind of seem like, okay, cool, whatever. Um, Personally, my mom has said some things that really like rub me the wrong way, in the sense that she would say stuff like, "Oh, well, when I take your baby, I'm going to let them do things that you wouldn't approve of." And that that doesn't like make me feel good. So I don't know if anybody has experienced this where their parents said they were going to do things that you wouldn't approve of with their kids, and it made you just feel a little like iffy about it. Anyways, I'm going off on a tangent. Coming back to postpartum, I was really, I don't want to say lucky, because I don't think anything's luck, but I have been passionate about this for a long time. So before I had my baby, this was like huge on my radar. Um, and it's not just like freezing a couple meals and saying like, "Okay, we're ready." Like, it's a lot more than that. I actually studied to be a postpartum doula under Newborn Mothers Collective with Julia Jones. She's Australian. I'll link her info in the description. And that really like blew my mind. I was like, okay, guys, like we need the village. Like, come on, peeps. Um, so I tried to build my own village of, as in like surround myself with people who, you know, want to support me and were able to, and I tried to help them to know how. Um, when I was pregnant, I had a mother blessing, which is not a baby shower, guys. Like, one thing is, when people are pregnant, like, it's always all about the baby, all about the baby. Or it's like, oh, how are you doing? But, like, really all they care about is the baby. And then when the baby comes out, it's like, you're a vessel, hit the streets, baby's who we care about. And, a lot of the times the mom kind of feels like left in the dust. Um, which is hard because, it's been all about you your whole life, and all of a sudden it's about someone else, and everyone else is making it about that someone else too. So it's kind of this weird experience to have, I think. But anyways, I had a mother blessing and it was really nice. And then when my baby came, I was like, oh my God, like I studied this so hard and here I am, like I'm in the ocean with no life raft, like no little blow up jacket. I'm lost. Like I was actually like Googling stuff because I was like, I don't know. I just don't know what to do. It was intense. Like mommy brain they call it, where basically what it is when oxytocin just kind of takes over to help you fall in love with your baby more, and basically all of your other like mental processes that were like functioning normally before just kind of like fade to the background. So it's really hard to like focus on regular life, if you will. I would describe it kind of as like you feel like a fuzzy like closing in, like a frame, if you will, like a fuzzy frame on your vision and life, and not literally a physical frame, but like everything is just kind of like zoomed in on your baby. So when we have this going on, caring for ourselves nearly impossible. Caring for other people unless it's your baby, oh my god, pretty much impossible. Like if you're used to um like taking care of your home, you have other kids as well, like having another kid is intense. If you've already been through this, you know what I'm talking about. So just not having the support, which most people don't, or having the right support, really makes things a lot more difficult than it needs to be. And it's already extremely difficult to go through this, guys. So, to just be out there hanging like, help me, it's not easy. I was really grateful and, well, I was blessed and I'm grateful for it. There's a lady that I know that just like I didn't even put her on my meal train. Oh, because I had a meal train, which basically means like a form that people that you know can fill out to bring you food. So it's organized, which honestly better than any baby shower gift. Like guys, if you're watching this and you're pregnant or you know someone that's pregnant, save the baby shower gift. They already know what they want. They don't need whatever you're trying to buy. Bring them food instead or some kind of gift certificate so that they can get food themselves, because food is like the most important thing. Most people that are in postpartum are actually nutrient deficient, which can actually mess with your obviously your hormones and in turn your brain. Like we're talking postpartum anxiety, postpartum depression here. So I was really blessed that I had someone that was just started cooking beautiful meals for me and just dropping them off. And I was like, this is amazing. And like I said, she wasn't even on my meal train. So I just feel so blessed for like for this person to be in my life. So you know who you are if you're watching. Thank you. Um, but yeah, so I just want to share an email that I received. It's not my email. It's from someone by the name of Miranda Bauer, um, who's she runs like a postpartum U website, and like U as in like university. Um, but it just talks about the importance of nutrition. So I'm just going to read it, and I'll link her information as well. And thank you, Miranda, if you watch, because um, you share some amazing stuff. Okay, so la 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 la. The fact that nutrition levels aren't checked before diagnosing a mother with postpartum depression or anxiety is mind blowing. Which, pause for a second, guys. Why is nutrition not seen as more important? Like, hello, it is the fuel that makes our body function properly. So if you're not giving it the right fuel, it's not going to work properly. Okay, so want to know why so many women experience postpartum depression and anxiety? Yes. 17.4% are deficient in iron, 12% are deficient in zinc, 51% are deficient in vitamin D, which vitamin D is related to mood and depression. So there you go. 80 to 90% are deficient in magnesium. That's a lot. 25 to 47% are deficient in B vitamins, also a lot, and up to 50% are deficient in iodine. So, the percentage of women who are deficient in postpartum of copper, selenium, and omega 3s are lesser known. And every single one of these nutrients mentioned has been strongly linked to postpartum depression and anxiety. And also, if you're not in postpartum, this also would affect people in general. All of these, at least from what I have been studying, these are all related to depression and anxiety. One of the biggest and most neglected sources of support for women lies in her nutrients and her ability to digest and absorb these to heal after the birth of her baby. But so few are taking this information seriously in the care and support of a new mother. Rather, we tell her it's normal to feel awful, to experience imbalances, to struggle with a host of symptoms, to take supplements, which work just as poorly as a salad would for her absorption, to seek medication and counseling without ever addressing the actual root cause of the problem. Dun, dun, dun. So this is obviously one of the biggest mistakes we're making for our women. And as I mentioned, postpartum is not just a little 6-week moment. Like, it's years. It takes years to heal from having a baby. So, if you are pregnant in the postpartum phase right now, we're talking 6 years after having a kid. If you know someone that's going to be having a kid, here's what you need to do. And this is my information as I know it. Get them some warm, somewhat sweet, easily digestible food and freeze it for them, or make it fresh, preferably fresh, but I mean, do what you can. This is so key. Like, do not make them cold foods that it's not easy for them to digest, and or for you if you're pregnant. Everyone thinks, oh, I'll just start having smoothies. Well, you know what? That's actually going to do more damage than good, because you need like easily digestible, warm or hot foods. So smoothie, easily digestible, but not warm and not hot. There's more to it. Obviously, I'm just going over the. See, I have mommy brain still. I'm just going over the top just to give you an introduction here. Gentle foods that are easily digestible, not hot dogs or something. Okay, pause, guys. I watched this video when I was pregnant where some lady, it was like a positive birth story, and they filmed her after she like had her baby. She was in the hospital and she was eating like macaroni and cheese and like corn dog or something, and I was like, oh, what? Like, where's the nutrition here? Like, yeah, it's warm, but I don't know. I'm not saying everybody needs to go vegan either for this, because actually there is some um, studies or information that say that veganism is actually can make postpartum more difficult, because there are nutrients that are more easily available and easier to digest if you're not vegan. I'm talking like bone broth. That's actually the perfect thing. If you're not vegan, and again, you're pregnant, you're postpartum, you know somebody who's gonna be going through this, make them some like bone broth soup and freeze a bunch and just bring it over to them, because it's easy to take in. I mean, when you're breastfeeding, you literally like my partner fed me with a spoon while I was in postpartum, like the first 6 weeks. I just couldn't I couldn't do this. I couldn't find the time. So if you're not vegan, if you're a meat eater, or you're caring for someone who eats meat, bone broth is a good option. Um, Personally, I don't like bone broth because I try to be mostly vegan, but there are other ways for vegetarians and vegans to get those good nutrients, and it's not just a vitamin because a vitamin isn't as easily absorbed as real food. So, what do you think, guys? What else can we do to support women and families through the postpartum stage? Good quality food, good quality nutrition, and not cold food that's hard to digest. Um, Teas, love, lots of oxytocin boosting things. Um, Avoiding like scary stuff, like things that are like overwhelming, violent, you know, dangerous, whatever it is. That can be really overwhelming for anybody, but especially in the postpartum period. Super scary. Try to avoid negative situations if you can. I mean, it's real life, so sometimes they're going to come up, but if you can be in control of that. Um, Personally, I spent 6 weeks where I just like didn't leave my house, called like a nesting phase, a nesting period. If you've read the First 40 Days book by Heng Ou, that's a really good one too. Um, it's really important to just take that time to slow down, figure out your baby, get to know them, let them get to know you, and just be there with them. And I'm not saying that like, oh, you can't leave your house. Like, if you want to leave your house, you leave your house, but just take it slow. You don't need to like rush to, some big superstore right away, buy some groceries. Like, try to get a grocery delivery service if you're able to, if that's something in your area, or um, hire a postpartum doula, someone whose like literal job it is to take care of you and your family in this time. They know what you need if they're well trained. They're here for it. They're here just to give you a shoulder to cry on, give you a hug, help you boost your oxytocin, help you, they're not always like lactation consultants, but they do have some information about breastfeeding, um, which maybe I'll talk about more in another video, because I think it's really important. But also, no shade and no judgment to people who cannot or choose not to breastfeed, because what you choose to do is your business at the end of the day. I feel really good about talking about this, honestly. It's a passion of mine, and I really feel like here in Cambodia, I don't have a lot of opportunities to like flex this muscle of like excitement and knowledge about this topic. I don't speak the local language, and a lot of people here still live with their families. Like, I don't know about the same house. Maybe, yeah, some of them in the same house. So they have that support. It's already like second nature to them. It's not like a surprise. Like, oh, what? I have to like stay warm? Like, they're like, yeah, I know. They're already wearing the toque or the like whatever. I'm a Canadian. They call it a toque. They're already wearing toques. They wear toques here for like, I think for 6 weeks after their baby's born, or at least 30 days. Even though it's like blistering hot here, they're like, I got my toque on. So, anyways, I'm just really excited that I was able to share this information with you, and I hope you enjoyed it. This is me more venturing towards my passion rather than just talking about my feelings and my various things that come up in my life. And if you enjoyed this video and it's helpful for you, please subscribe, like it, comment, all the things that people always tell people to do. And yeah, thanks for watching. See you soon.